shot this undercover video. His attorney says the TSA is now threatening him with legal action. A pilot exposing what he calls security lapses at a California airport. The whistleblower pilot and his attorney, Dan Warno, joining us now. The pilot does not wish to be identified. But, sir, it's Brian Sullivan in New York. Thank you for joining us. We will not identify you, but I want to ask you why you shot the video.
The reason why I shot the video is I just wanted to show how absurd the security system was. Upstairs, the passengers get literally a groping down, and they get x-rayed, which I'm sure that's not healthy for you. And while the ground crew literally goes through their own separate door with no metal detector, no TSA, no camera. You know, security is layers, but and it has to be kind of even for everybody. This is just obviously, you know, ridiculous.
And it seems that you shot the video to call attention to this, but yet the TSA is obviously responding as if you're the bad guy.
That's right. That's the typical government response, right?
Don, I want to talk to your attorney now. Don Warno, it's Brian Sullivan in New York. What has been the TSA's response? We've heard about letters. Have there been any threats of legal action, job loss? What's happened on the legal front?
Well, Brian, what's happened so far is TSA's initial response was to suspend the pilot from the Federal Flight Deck Officer Program, which allows him to carry a gun into the cockpit of the aircraft. And in reality, all of the pilots on board the aircraft are the primary line of defense to protect the passengers in the event of a mechanical problem with the aircraft or a terrorist act. We can't count on the air marshals if they're stretched too thin. So instead of embracing the pilot's notification of a serious national security problem, they sent 4 federal air marshals who spent almost a day driving to and from his house to arrive unannounced to secure a weapon that, quite frankly, we could have FedExed back to them at a cost of about $20. Additionally, they brought 2 deputies to his house for a combined 6 people just to pick up a handgun from a pilot who is a national hero. He's not accused of any crime or any wrongdoing other than making TSA mad.
Okay, I want to go back to the pilot. So they sent 6 agents effectively to your house to give you a letter and to pick up a gun. What did they say when they were there? What did they do? How did they treat you?
Well, as you see on the video, they were very professional, but obviously they had no clue why they were up there. Somebody gave them an order and they did it. And thank God one guy was in his police uniform. Otherwise, I would have just thought 6 guys coming down my driveway. That would definitely.
Yeah, that's a good point. Did they? I mean, how did they identify themselves? Why did they say they were there?
Well, they were there. You know, my attorney, he called beforehand, and we found that they were only 5 miles away. So we tried to set up an appointment at 1 o'clock, but they still came early. So I guess, you know, as far as intimidation and surprise, they lost most of that.
What has your airline said about this?
No comment.
Which is exactly what we got from the TSA, by the way. We called the TSA, and they did not issue us a comment. Very quickly, your last comment to your attorney, Don Warno. Don, what is your next course of action here? Do you think the TSA, because we're doing the story now and it's getting attention, is going to back off? Or do you believe they will get more aggressive to prove a point?
Well, I sent Janet Napolitano's office a letter basically asking her to explain what was going on. And a couple of weeks have elapsed, and we haven't received a response. Quite frankly, I hope that America contacts TSA, says, look, you know, you guys need to be smarter about this. This is national security, and if we have ground crews that can access every aspect of the aircraft and who have been caught in the past smuggling drugs, a bomb is next. So, you know, we need to spend less money on billions of dollars of technology upstairs, and we need to put a more layered and intelligent security approach in place. Quite frankly, nobody should get a free pass to an airplane.
Yeah. And don't go after people who expose it. Don Warno, thank you very much. I guess I'll call you Mr. Pilot. Since you are unidentified, I will say thank you very much for calling this to our attention. Hope you have a Merry Christmas, and the TSA backs off. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not about justice. It's not about agenda. It's not about mobilizing people. It's about dialing for corporate dollars. These 2 parties have sold the U.S. government and the American people to the highest bidders.